Hello, everyone. Welcome to Attack the Talk. This is AJ, and this is season 3, guys. Season 3.
We did it.
All right. Joining me, of course, is
Lexi.
What's up, Lex?
I'm back, guys.
Yeah, Lexi's back. And yeah, new intro, guys.
My voice isn't fully back, but it's a lot better. So
It's all good. You have a voice.
yeah, I have a voice. Let's hope I'm able to use it in a good voice acting manner.
Yeah, we'll see.
Today.
I mean, we're again, it's just we're not pros. We do the best we can. But yeah, so Lexi wasn't here last week because she was sick. For those of you that were still curious, I might have harped on it a little bit. But yeah, because it was a solo episode from yesterday, or yesterday last week. But yeah, so crazy. This is season 3. We'll be talking about episode 1. And yeah, it's going to be insane. So let me go ahead and get my notes up. We can go ahead and jump into it. We have a Q&A to go ahead and talk about. We'll save the poll for next week. So we'll have double poll results for next week. And yeah, it's going to be all good stuff. And of course, we're going to go ahead and get into part 1 of our episode discussion here for season 3, episode 1. And that episode is Smoke Signal. So whatever the heck that means, I guess we'll find out what that smoke signal is in reference to. But yeah, so this is going to be a fun little episode to go ahead and kind of talk about the start of season 3. We do get a little bit of a look into the future, which is really cool.
Yes.
So I'm excited to go ahead and do that, and we can talk about that, of course. We even kind of
Some foreshadowing moments.
Oh yeah, huge foreshadowing.
I mean, it's Attack on Titan. When is there not?
Yeah. Everything is just a memory loop, and then
it's all an endless loop.
So it's all crazy, but yeah, so it's gonna be cool. And we also kind of get to a moment where things kind of feel a little nostalgic, and I'll explain that when we go ahead and we talk about that moment in the episode. But yeah, guys, honestly, it's crazy. I really cannot believe that we're already in season 3.
Yeah,
I know that season 2 is a shorter season, 12 episodes, as I said last week, but it's crazy because we are splitting those episodes in half, essentially. And so that means that we talked about 24 episodes, right?
Yeah.
In season 2. And then add in, what do we do? 3 OVAs, I think?
Yeah, maybe
2 or 3 OVAs we thrown in there. So it's crazy how time kind of flies, and it's like, wow, season 3 already. Because with season 1, I mean, things were just still so new in terms of like the podcast stuff, So it's like, it felt like
such a big experience every time we did it that it was like, it didn't feel like it blew by as quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
It felt like we really took it in every time, but now we actually we have a process now. We kind of know what we're doing now. We have our whole, we have our own flow now.
Yeah, for sure.
And that just like when you told me like last week, I was like, oh yeah, I'll join in the chat. Like I won't be able to be there. And you're like, yeah, I'm doing the season finale. And I'm like, no way. Yeah. It's already the season finale. What the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for those that stuck with us. And now we're approaching season 3.
Yeah, for those of you that have joined us here throughout this crazy ride, I mean, yeah, we're in season 3, and there's only just going to be so much more craziness to follow, and I'm excited to go ahead and get into all that. We're going to also talk about foreshadowing. We get foreshadowing in the beginning of it, and we get a little bit of an introduction towards the end of our little episode discussion, who kind of, I think, are referencing some interesting, at least an interesting character. So it should be fun, guys. So hope you guys are all well. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and let's go and jump into it. So again, guys, this is season 3, episode 1, Smoke Signal. This will be part 1 of our episode discussion. A lot of information in this episode. So this episode may be split into 2 parts, maybe 3 parts, just because it's the start of season 3. There's a lot to kind of talk about in terms of like reflecting a little bit on what happened on season 2. And, kind of also the idea of, I don't know how much time has passed. We know that it's shortly after season 2 where we see season 3, but it's almost like we're kind of catching up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are our characters? What are our,
what's been going on?
What are the people doing, So
keeping up with the Jaegers.
Yeah. Exactly. So don't know yet if we're gonna split this episode.
Up with the acronyms is probably more.
Yeah, that sounds like a hit.
Appropriate title for this season.
That sounds like a hit for sure, though.
Keeping up with the acronyms.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. Again, this is part 1 of our episode discussion. So, before we get into any recap, let's go and let's do the question.
Yeah.
So, interesting question, I believe, that we asked. And for people that are tuning in, this is a very broad question.
Mm-hmm.
So, there's no, in my eyes, wrong or right answer.
Yeah, I don't think there is. I mean...
And I think it's just
a lot of opinions. I mean, obviously there's like ratings and stuff.
Yeah,
but...
and we actually did go over a couple of lists. So just to kind of see, kind of gauge where the interests are and what the potential results could be here from this question. But with all that being said, so Lexi, go ahead and tell us what this question is.
Yes, this question is, and I quote, random question. But what is your favorite anime opening song of all time?
See, all time.
Very overwhelming question.
Yeah, that's tough.
Of all time.
There's so many good ones,
Like even with new animes coming out like every year, or even like sequels to animes coming out every year, it's like, dang, like this is really good too. Like,
yeah.
Like if you would have asked this question before the rumbling, like,
oh my gosh, if it's before...
it's such a hard question because there's always such good openings coming out.
Yeah.
And there's so many good anime openings out there. But we have one answer by our very loyal listener. Again, we talk about him multiple times about how much we appreciate his insight on stuff and how great his answers are all the time. It is B Dennis 7.
B Dennis!
What's up? He says, that's literally not fair, guys, with a broken heart emoji. There's too many, especially for AOT. But to keep it small, I'd say for Attack, maybe the second opening from season 3. And honorable mention, Black Rover from Black Clover.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The second opening from season 3. Okay.
I'd have to go ahead and
I'm trying to remember which one it is. I'm pretty sure, is the second season 3 opening the one with
I can play them, right?
That's true. You could always,
I can play them, right?
Yeah. You could always just,
It's not like...
That's true. Let's listen.
It's not like I'm going to go and get like... I don't want to even say it. But...
Yeah,
Okay,
if we got... say the word, it'll happen.
AOT, season 3.
3 part 2. The second opening.
All right.
Oh,
this one? Okay. This was one of the ones that was high up over on the list that we were looking at.
Of a list that we were, speaking at.
And I think it just goes hard right here. Yeah.
Not a bad answer at all.
And again, as we mentioned, there's no wrong answer.
No, not at all.
Oh yeah, this is nice right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, like Beaton says, there's too many.
Yeah.
But he wanted to stick specifically to the AOT. But honorable mention, Black Rover from Black Clover.
Okay. Which we'll check out shortly. But
Yeah. This one is just so like hearing this before an episode, you can't
The start of it, I'm not gonna lie. The start of it, I'm not really into that. But then I feel like it gets so good.
Yeah, it just gets right. Yeah. Because you can't help but get hype before every episode hearing this.
Yeah.
And just in Attack on Titan fashion, they have it like go up an octave, go up a speed with the like choir in the background.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Makes it sound so
good.
epic.
Just how it. Oh yeah, that's great. All right. So as I'm looking up here, this says Black Clover, Black Rover, opening 3. Okay. So this is. I imagine this is the third
opening for Black Clover. So, we haven't seen Black Clover.
Yeah.
So
this is going to be an experience.
I wonder if I recognize it at all, though. Okay. This is it's like a feel-good epic opening.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay.
The drums too.
Okay.
Okay. Damn.
We might have to watch Black Clover.
Yeah.
Oh, the drums are okay.
Damn, those notes too.
Okay. It sounds pretty epic.
Yeah, I like this. I like the energy.
Yeah.
I like the different transitions. You know, I'm a sucker for good transitions and stuff. And
it's both like gives off fighting, but like happy vibes.
How it ends. Okay.
Yeah, I like this part.
Ooh,
okay,
I like that at the end too. The little piano. The piano at the start of it and right now at the end of it too is so nice. It gives it like kind of like a little ominous type of like feeling and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of makes me think of Tokyo Ghoul a little bit too.
Yeah,
like the
me
piano.
too. Because Tokyo Ghoul utilizes piano a lot. That's another like super popular opening in general. Unravel, that one's super popular.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah,
Dennis,
good job, B. Dennis.
Thank you.
Your opinion is valid. Valid.
That was great. I like that. So with all that being said, Lexi, I want to know.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I know what you're gonna ask me. I don't know. Actually,
nothing that we can go ahead and play and listen to very quickly. Something to go ahead and kind of.
Okay. I really like. It's honestly probably just from like my top favorite anime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I really love. Obviously, the second opening of Death Note. Like, I feel like that opening really shaped me as a person because, like, first time I ever heard it was in 8th grade, like maybe going into freshman year of high school, and it like totally shaped me as a person. And another opening I really like is the Devilman Crybaby opening.
There's a little teaser. I didn't want to cut you. I knew he was gonna play, but yeah. So you said Devilman Crybaby.
The Devilman Crybaby opening is really good.
This is the one Lex was referring to for Death Note. This is opening number 2.
Yeah, this is in my gym playlist. Yeah. I remember hearing this, like, as this, how old would I have been? 14, 15? And being like, whoa.
Yeah.
There is other music out there.
Oh,
hey,
Kyron, what's up, buddy?
Perfect timing. Kyron, what is your favorite anime opening of all time?
Favorite anime opening of all time? Tell us.
Currently, we're playing the second Death Note opening because I feel like this might be mine if I had to say. This would probably be mine.
Okay, in a second.
Yeah, this part's really good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I didn't even really watch Naruto.
We got you. We'll cue it.
This is my favorite part coming up.
Second, the rumbling. My guy. Yep.
And then like the opening just goes crazy and it's just yeah. But it also helps that I absolutely like love the anime. So
okay. Oh yeah, it's good, Lex. I mean, obviously is get you hyped for sure. I know what that is.
I was like, I don't know what that one is. That one's not one of mine. Oh wait, I kind of change it.
You can't. We'll change it.
No, not the first one. I'll change the second one.
Oh.
Instead of the Devilman Crybaby opening, I think I like the first Noragami opening a little bit better.
Okay. Well, this is Kyron's choice.
Okay. Yeah. This one's really good.
Yeah, no worries, Kyron. We're playing your song and appreciate you stopping by, man. You know we miss you. We hope that you're doing well.
Of course. Thank you for stopping by. Okay, bye. Bye, Kyron. Thank you for stopping by.
Kyron.
The harmonica.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by, Kyron.
Oh, it's okay. So this is Naruto. Okay, so Kyron's switching it up on us. So this isn't an opening. This is an ending.
Oh,
okay.
An ending. Okay.
So this is an ending here.
Oh. Yeah, I've heard this.
The significance of endings, especially if it's the first ending, is that whenever you hear it, it brings you back. As I mentioned, like with AOT, that first ending, it brings you back to that moment, that feeling of like, oh my gosh, like
where you're like suddenly
almost like
it's like
awe.
the feeling of falling in love with an anime.
Yeah.
I literally was just about to say, I feel like picking your favorite opening is not just
It's
about
all just
the
subjective
music.
to...
It's also about like how much you like the anime, how you feel about the anime, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. This one definitely seems like it would have like a lot of sentimental memories and a lot of, you know, like just love,
especially
you know,
after like it's an ending.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like, can you imagine going through, I don't know exactly how many seasons there are of Naruto, and I know that there's also like it has a spin-off as well, right?
Yeah, they have Boruto spin-off.
So can you imagine going through all seasons of whatever there is available of Naruto and stuff, spin-offs and all, and then you get to a point where you go back and you listen to this song and just how it just takes you back to the start, to the beginning, you know? Where it's almost like, oh my God, when it's just like, wow, these are just like simpler
so
times
naive.
and stuff. And oh my gosh. And, you know, and it's like you're reflecting again on like, it's kind of like with AOT, you know, where like, damn, like when you go through season after season and you find out more about the story and you kind of like, you as us, as people that watch it, we begin to understand, or even like the role, but like we see all that's happening, all that's transpired, everything that's changed, characters that have changed, characters that we've lost, everything. And so it's like when we go back to the start, it's like you said, just how naive I was and how just so like, wow, you know, and how things were just so simpler. And
all of those little like, oh, this smallest little thing like matters so much, or now the little things matter so much more.
Or even when you go and you think about certain characters, when you hear an ending one and it's like, wow, they were so young, or they haven't like gone through that kind of development, or you know, character type of, you know,
or they went through that traumatic experience.
And yeah, so it's all insane and stuff. But yeah, thank you guys so much again for chiming in, Kyron. Thank you so much, B Dennis, for letting us know, and Lexi, thank you too for telling me what your you know, your favorite openings are.
Opening. What is yours? You didn't answer.
Oh, mine's it's easy. My go-to is it's Rumbling.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rumbling just it's beautiful. I love it, and it gets you so freaking hyped.
It's
and
like
stuff.
the perfect song for part 2 of season 4.
Yeah, and that might be
it
honestly
really sets the tone.
Watching AOT with you and you know, going through all the seasons and stuff like that, I think that might be the opening that we maybe never skipped.
Yeah,
probably maybe skipped once, or maybe we went back and like let's listen to this, but probably never skipped.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean the opening,
which is impressive, because normally we're so like, okay, let's skip this. I want to get to the story. Come on, I want to get to the story.
We do that all the time, pretty much with My Hero.
Yeah,
just like skip it. But that might be the only opening that we didn't skip.
Yeah, that we really just let play every single time because it was just that good. Yeah.
To be honest, I don't have high hopes for whatever the next opening is going to be for.
It's hard to follow up
season 4. You know, the final season, part 3.
Yeah.
And I just, because I don't want to get my hopes up exactly. I just don't want to do that, especially with the start of a new season. You know, and I don't want to already go into it with these preconceived, you know, notion. And it's like, oh, I got let down because of the openings.
Yeah, like
now
I thought it was going to be so good, and then
yeah. So, anyways, that's mine. I would say that another one. I agree. Death Note opening number 2, that one just hits again right from the get-go. It's just so aggressive.
Like, I never skipped it at all.
But it's also,
I never skipped any of their openings, actually. I really liked their vibe. And
it really
openings.
fits.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you watch it and it has
Very
like the characters
vibe.
and whatever the title sequences and stuff like that, it shows that it really fits.
Yeah.
So I think it's very well
the
done.
imagery is just, it's like the same vibe. It's really good.
And then I really like Tokyo Ghoul, the first opening.
Of course.
That one is just epic.
Unravel, that one is really popular.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
for
beautiful.
a good reason. It's really good.
Yeah. There's a couple other little, sentimental ones that I could think of.
We could go on forever.
Yeah.
Naming really good anime openings.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again, guys, for the results. Thank you again, Lexi, for telling us the response and telling us what the question is. And we'll see what we come up with next week.
Yeah.
So. All right, let's go ahead and let's try to break down. I know that it was tough for you, Lex, because you weren't here, but just kind of see how season 2 wrapped up. So, again, the big part of that season 2 finale episode is that obviously that was the scream.
Yeah.
Right? That was where we see this new ability, this new power that Eren Yeager has. Yeah. Right? A power that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And so the final part of that episode, right, is kind of now to a point where, as we mentioned, my biggest pet peeve, right, was Ymir's decision, right? But one thing that I think that I learned from it, because I know going into that whole little arc, I was very excited to get into it because I understand how much that decision really bothers me. But I wanted to see again, really kind of like dissect the mindset a little bit, like where is she coming from? What reasoning
in her shoes?
Like what reasoning does she have? And I think
her
really
claws,
what it is.
Put yourself in her jaws and see.
Yeah, and I think really what I came to was the conclusion is that this is her way of showing gratitude to them, right? Because a line that really sticks with me is when she says that who knows how long I would be living that nightmare until you guys came around, right?
Yeah,
and which. I think that's also a part of the story that I forget. It was like, man, this character, Ymir, I mean, she already has a tragic upbringing, but she had a glimpse of what it was like to be, praised and appreciated, and something that, she didn't have obviously as a kid, living in the streets and being homeless, with literally living with like other kids. And then, as short-lived as that was, just now her life pretty much became this living hell of her just being transformed into this Titan. And, I think she said, I want to believe, if I remember correctly, I think she said like 60 years or something like that, or that she literally spent as a Titan running around and stuff like that.
I think 40. I don't know. For some reason, 40 is sticking out.
But it was a substantial amount of time.
A couple of decades.
And the thing is that, had Rhina and the crew not show up, then, she still would have been this Titan. Yeah. So again, I think that's really what it came down to, is that she owes them her life, which obviously she's aware that she's giving them her life, which really bothers me so much because I want her to live.
Yeah.
And
just want her and
Historia to go ahead
happily ever after.
We get this now new kind of established relationship, this connection, this bond that they have, and it's like, why let it just die now?
I know.
And that's what bothers me. But
because Isayama loves to see us in pain.
Yeah, loves heartbreak, and but yeah. So again, we see now that she is there with Rhina and Bertold as they have made their way back to the beginning, which is over, and it's over at Wall Maria, I want to say, right? Because the outermost wall is Maria, then you have Rose and Cena, right? Uh-huh. So Wall Maria, which I believe is the first wall, the place where it all kind of began back over in the Shiganshina district, and that's where we see Rhina and Bertold with Ymir as they're just kind of now just waiting and relieved that they were able to avoid and escape from that whole situation. That situation being Eren having that new ability to be the coordinate, being the communicator, the coordinate, which obviously Eren has no idea how to do. So yeah, they were able to avoid that whole situation. Both parties involved, that party being the traders and Ymir, and then the other party being the scouts, right? They were able to go ahead and leave. They're now at a point where they're, Commander Irvin, he's alive, thankfully. He lost his arm. And the last part I really want to kind of mention here in terms of like reflecting on what happened is that something that was important that didn't actually happen in that specific season finale episode was that Hanji wanted to know what was going on in Raguko, right? So that's a big part of how this episode ends. And what I mean by big is because they now have this hypothesis that these Titans are actually humans, right? Or they were humans. And again, we see kind of like the how Captain Levi
like the
took that information. Where he literally was kind of like, wow, so the things that I'm good at killing, I've just been killing humans.
Yeah. Maybe that's just what I've been doing the whole time. Awesome.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you have Commander Irvin, who has this smile on his face, which is a smile that shocks, Captain Levi. And he asks him about it. And of course, Commander Irvin, as we've talked about plenty of times, where he kind of sees the big picture, and he knows that he
doesn't deal with like the situation with just the info that he's been given at hand. He
thinks
tries to make this huge, put it a little puzzle piece in this huge puzzle.
Exactly.
That is the like what do you say? Like we're one step closer to figuring out what's going on.
Figuring out the truth.
Yeah, and figuring out the truth.
Pretty much breaking down
big
that wall.
Puzzle.
Yeah. So different outlooks, but we're kind of left with that little information, and yeah. So now we're gonna see how they're kind of just going back into their life, and now that they're back inside the walls, we're gonna go ahead and see what these characters have been up to, and yeah. So let's go and let's get into it. So again, guys, this is season 3. This is episode 1. This episode is called Smoke Signal, and here we go. So season 3 actually begins, guys, with a POV shot, right? We see that we're looking up into the cloudy blue skies as seagulls are chirping as they soar high into the sky. And then we hear ocean waves crashing against the shore. And then we zoom into the eyes of someone standing on that shore, just staring past the ocean. And that someone is Eren Yeager. As Eren himself narrates, Armin once told me that beyond the wall lies a great expanse of water. And then we see now that we see an older Eren with slightly longer hair. He called it the sea. And I always wondered, what's beyond that? And then we continue just hearing the waves crashing, seagulls chirping, as Eren continues to stare past the sea. Wow. So you mentioned
a little bit of a foreshadowing moment.
Exactly, the perfect word, foreshadowing. And
of course, when you first see that, you're just like, what?
And yeah, can you imagine starting off a new season with that?
Yeah.
And I think when I want to remember correctly here, and it probably was just like I'm remembering it differently in my mind, but like the first time we watched that together, we were like, whoa, what's going on? Like,
how much time passed?
Like, because when they finally show him at a point where
his voice is also deeper.
Yeah, like when they finally show him just staring, right? He looks older, and then it's like again. You don't see anybody else.
Yeah.
And you're like...
And he's at the sea.
And you're like, what the...
That is like their drive, like him and Armin's little like thing, their drive to get there.
And also too, it's like how many times where the narrator has always been narrator the Armin?
Yeah.
This is the first time we're like, wait, hold on.
Yeah. He's alone.
Now this is like, Eren is like narrating as if he's telling us how things have transpired or whatever and stuff, So it's kind of like, what are we going to expect here?
Yeah. Like interesting. So like it. I mean, knowing what we know now, like it kind of seems like
really is the storyteller.
Yeah, like he's kind of like taking control of because in this season, is when he.
Yeah, he has that crazy awakening.
Yeah, he has that awakening where like, oh, he is in control of everything, but like symbolically, like Attack on Titan is just so good about the tiny details. Like symbolically, like him narrating the very first is like him taking control of the story.
Oh yeah. That's crazy. I never thought about that. Where now it's like we're at a point now where the momentum has changed. Whereas before it was like
it's no longer Armin explaining the battle of humanity against
Titans. Now it's that's where now you have this storyteller, right? Eren Yeager is now from here on out taking control, and he's going to explain what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Wow.
Attack on Titan is so good.
Yeah. Wow.
obviously knowing what we know now, we see that now. Like we can make that conclusion now. But before we were like, he's at the sea, he's older, he's alone, he's narrating. Where's Armin?
Yeah, where's everybody else?
Yeah, like, what is happening?
Is he the only one that made it? What's going on here?
And then that's it. That's all that they leave you with. Yeah. That's it.
And then we again get that new opening, which we played at the start of our episode as well. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Don't know how loud or how quiet the music is and stuff. I also don't want it to drown us out. But yeah, we get a new season 3 opening. And after that opening plays, now we go ahead and go back to... the episode now brings us back to present events here, right? And we see a couple characters. We see Armin, we see Jean and Sasha. We see that they're all out of uniform. They're just in their casual attire, right? And they're entering this home, which we see is looks like it's outside of the forest. And this home is kind of like a nice little cozy cottage.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing too crazy. It's just like a little hidden away home.
Yeah.
Right? And then
cozy's a good word, yeah.
And yeah, so we see again, as I mentioned, they're out of uniform. They're also preparing to walk into this home with like almost like they're moving in, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right?
Like they have all like
equipment,
carrying...
or not equipment, but it's like a certain material.
They're all
and
carrying
stuff,
material, yeah.
So.
Like they're preparing to stay there for a decent amount of time.
Yeah. All right. So again, one of those characters being Jean. We hear Jean as he warns. Hey, Sasha, you even try to steal any more food, and we'll have Captain Levi chop you into bite-sized pieces. Got it? And as they now begin to enter the home, we see Connie and Aaron. They've already been inside this home, and we see that they're cleaning. They have their nice little cleaning, attire on, where they got like kind of like the white, kind of like almost like
the handkerchief scarf.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, so they've been there. They've been cleaning, right? And then they turn around to notice the arrival, right? As Sasha, she responds to Jean.
Who? Me? I would never. Probably.
Yeah. And then, yeah. So then as they walk into this cottage, Aaron, we see he's frustrated with their lack of care. He scolds him. Hey, did you guys wipe the mud off your shoes before you came in? And then Jean answers, huh? Are you kidding me? So he goes, do you not see all the stuff we're carrying? Selfish. Mm-hmm. And then Aaron now tells Jean, you idiot. Do you really think an excuse like that is going to play with Captain Levi? Bad enough I had to make your bed for you this morning. Now you pull this crap? And then Jean, of course, right, doesn't want to hear this. He's now just fed up with Aaron, and he tells him, oh, shut it. Who are you, my mom now? And then... as they're beginning to go back to old times and have this little bicker back and forth, we see that Mikasa and Historia, they have now entered this home, and we see that they're carrying fire logs, right? As Mikasa, she just walks in, tries to stop the constant back and forth, which we've seen happen before, and Mikasa just says,
we're back.
Yeah. And then Armin, he takes notice of Mikasa as Armin asks her, wait, you were chopping firewood? And then Mikasa, with axe in one hand and just a stack of firewood in the other, answers,
gotta stay in shape somehow.
Now a worried Armin continues, you got grabbed by a titan. You should be in bed recovering. And then Aaron adds, I think you're wasting your breath. I caught her doing sit-ups earlier. And then Jean, who is not done with Aaron at all, right? Jean now, find my spot again, sorry. John, he tries to continue this back and forth with Aaron as he just says now, oh, so you're a nag and a spy.
Okay.
I sense a little hint of jealousy in there too.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But then we see Sasha, right? Or I say, now Aaron and Jean, they continue their back and forth argument, right? Where it's like, hey, Jean's like, hey, remember me? Hey. And Aaron's like, that's right.
I'm not done with you.
Now they're continuing their little spat. And then we see that Connie, he's there, he's peeling potatoes. And then Armin, he just continues to worry for Mikasa by telling her, Mikasa, you know you're only human, right? And then we see Sasha. She has a smile as she's seeing all this familiarity happening around her. And she tells Armin,
funny. Almost feels like we're back in the cadet corps, doesn't it?
And then Armin responds, yeah, chaos. Makes you wonder why they chose us for this new Levi squad. And now Sasha, we see her, she's now drooling over, she's drooling over Connie peeling the potatoes.
Yeah.
And then Armin continues, protecting Eren and Historia is such an important mission. It is.
Yeah.
And then Sasha, she answers confidently.
Because we're all so talented, I assume.
And she then quickly sneaks a loaf of bread. And she stashes it into her bag. And then Armin, of course, taking notice. He asks her, Sasha, what did you just shove into your bag? And Sasha answers,
it's something that's definitely not bread.
Yeah. And then John, who at this point, I feel like John just likes to be a little instigator, right?
Yeah.
And then so John, after he already warned Sasha, he hears this, right? Yeah. And John takes notice. He tells Sasha, really? What did I tell you?
Okay, John.
And then Connie tells Sasha, come on, put it back. And then Eren tries to get back on track by telling them, hey, can we focus here? We've got to finish cleaning before the captain gets back. And then Armin asks again, the bread, Sasha. And then Historia, we see her, she's just standing at the entrance door. And she's just watching everyone. But then suddenly, she notices somebody else entering the house. And that somebody is Captain Levi.
Oof.
As he asks, what's all the commotion? And then as everyone we see they literally are just like have Sasha cornered, right? They're retrieving the bread and now they're like kind of like scolding her, right?
It's like drop it.
Yeah.
Drop it.
Yeah. But I kind of like Sasha's expression too, because she's kind of like,
yeah,
oh well, like,
I don't have anything.
Can't blame me type thing or whatever, right? And then so they all suddenly stop once they see Captain Levi. We see Captain Levi. Of course, he walks to the dining room table. He begins scanning for dust. And then we see that he feels underneath the table. We see once Captain Levi touches that table with his fingers.
Yeah.
We see that dust can be seen just falling to the ground. And then Captain Levi takes a look at his hand. He turns to the group and says, I'm quite certain I gave you enough time. Never mind. We can discuss your utter failure at a later date. Eren, Hanji is anxious to get the experiment underway. And then Eren, he's, obviously, Eren's very diligent in this moment, right? Plus, he's also experienced time with the Levi squad, the original Levi squad, right? So he knows what Captain Levi expects, what he wants, and then now he's stuck with this group now who we know
not as disciplined.
No, as Armin described, chaos. Yeah. Right? So Eren responds, yes, sir. And then that scene ends as we hear in the background, we hear Eren's Titan roar. All right, so let's go and let's talk about this chaos that unfolded here, right? Mm-hmm. So as you mentioned that this is a home, this is a cottage where we see that they're going to be kind of staying for a while.
Yeah.
Right? We know that Eren and Connie have been in this home. They've been cleaning it for a while. Who knows how long, but they've been there cleaning longer than Jean, Armin, and Sasha. I'm sure they were giving another task, as we had mentioned, that they were arriving with like material. They were arriving with equipment. It's different stuff that I'm assuming they're going to need. Let's just say they went like grocery shopping or something, right?
They went and they got potatoes. They went to the garden and
so they got stuff that obviously they're going to need, right? So I guess it's not like
somewhere that's muddy. I don't know.
So I guess they didn't avoid work, but regardless, they're here now, and it bothers Eren because he again knows the attention to detail, the attention to detail that Captain Levi expects, and that he's going to go and look for, right? And so the first thing that comes out of Eren's mouth is, "Hey, did you guys scrape off the mud?" Right?
Yeah.
And
before you came in here.
Yeah.
And he knows the attention, because what's the first thing Levi did when he walked in? He felt underneath the table.
Literally
for
checking
dust.
the spots where you don't see.
Yeah.
Right?
The spots where usually aren't really wiped a whole lot. Maybe you can get away with leaving like the tops of cabinets dusty, because Levi maybe can't reach up there. But not underneath stuff. Yeah. Clean underneath stuff.
I'm sure he would still find a way,
Yeah, true. Use its ODM gear in the house.
Yeah.
This is dirty.
So it's tough when you have one person who's trying to have everybody else follow their tasks, right?
Trying to meet those expectations.
Right. And then we see that one of them just wants to go ahead and bicker. Mm-hmm. One of them just likes to argue, Jean just really... So that comments that Aaron made, where it's like I even had to make like it's bad enough I had to make your bed for you.
Yeah,
right?
I had to make your bed this morning.
So John, in my eyes, is just kind of like I don't know, like he's a single child, right?
Yeah, like he seems like an only child.
And I think that he's just
a spoiled brat.
Yeah, I mean,
for lack of better terms,
I'm trying to like
spoiled brat,
sugarcoat a little bit, but I mean, it's kind of he's making it difficult here with everything that's kind of happening here. So he's just trying to pick a fight with really anybody.
He usually got his way,
definitely,
but now he's not.
Yeah,
so he's not used to it. So he's gonna argue with the dude that he doesn't like.
Yeah,
in front of the girl that he likes.
And so there's that argument that's happening again. That's something that has happened before, bringing us back to the old nostalgic times, right?
Yeah, it definitely does feel like kind of like a
Sasha stealing food.
Yeah, it feels like a good little breath of fresh air, like, hey, seeing this, especially the way that season 2 ended.
Yeah, so it's like things are kind of going back to normal.
Okay, some kind of normality is going on. That's never happens anymore. Cool.
And I mean, Connie, at least he's being a little bit more responsible. We see, he's cleaning, he's peeling potatoes, he's doing his thing, and stuff.
They've matured a bit. They've grown. I mean, trauma will do that to you, but
I say it with air quotes, just the dumb, guy who's part of the group who just, kind of like he's there and he's kind
just
of,
the comedic relief character. Like he's actually doing something.
He's being responsible here. Yeah. Right. Armin, of course. I mean, he is, very intelligent.
Yeah. Blaming Mikasa.
He's also very perceptive.
Yeah.
Right? Or even now he's kind of like, wow, like it makes you wonder, with everything that's happening right now, why Captain Levi chose us to be. And let's say this. When I say the new Levi squad, that is some serious stuff right there. Okay, so again, we don't know how much time has transpired here, right? Between the end of season 2, even during season 2, where we talked about, like, these are episodes we're talking about, but in terms of the time perspective for these characters, these are like maybe hours, if most days, right?
Yeah, usually between episodes.
So who knows how long they were officially scouts, right? Yeah. To now they are the Levi squad.
Yeah. I mean, we don't know what kind of training they went through to go through that, or if they earned it themselves by just knowledge and power and just earning it. But oh, what's up, Eddie?
What's up, buddy?
Hello, Eddie. It's been a while.
Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Thank you for joining us.
We appreciate.
We're talking about season 3, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're in season 3 already.
Season 3 already. It's insane. But yeah, I mean,
new Levi squad. That's
the new Levi
crazy.
Squad. So you got so let's talk about this. The OG Levi squad. Well, I don't want to say OG because we don't know to the extent of how many Levi squads there have been.
The
but
OG that
the
we
Levi
know.
squad that we know. So you had
the previous squad.
You have
with
Eld,
Otowo and
you had Gunther, you had Otowo, and then you had Petra, right? Who we very quickly come to realize that they're all legitimate.
Yes.
Like they're all very skillful.
Like we immediately get their stats upon meeting them, and it's like, oh, these people, respect.
Do we know how long they've been Levi Squad? Is it like 2 years or something, or do we know? Like I don't know.
I don't recall at all if we've ever
time frame.
If we've ever been told a time frame.
But yeah, so we very quickly learned that they are a force to be reckoned with, right? So now the Levi Squad that we have here, let's name drop. Okay, we have Aaron, Mikasa, right? I mean, okay, that's our we understand.
Yeah, we get it.
We understand,
yes,
right?
Aaron and Mikasa, we got it.
Armin? Yeah, I understand for sure. Armin, he's very, very intelligent.
Not just because he's the main character, because he's got that big.
How many of his strategies have we used already and stuff? His plans are really good. Yeah, right.
His plan literally led to the first victory humanity has ever had.
So I mean, he deserves to go ahead and be Levi Squad for sure. All right. Well, we have Historia. She's there. Right?
Yeah, Historia.
I mean, Historia has.
She has a much bigger.
I mean,
we're gonna get into it, but we don't know. They don't know that yet.
There's another reason why she's primarily a part of Levi Squad, and we'll get to that in this next little part of the episode. We're gonna go and talk about. But I mean, she's there, and I'm not gonna go ahead and throw judgment here. I mean, we see how she ended off season 2 by being somebody who's now leading.
Yeah,
right, which is really
courageous.
Cool.
She matured a lot.
Is now
just in
embracing.
That one episode. I can only imagine how much more she's matured within this time frame that has passed since that last episode and this one.
that in terms of the body language we're getting from Historia, she obviously has not like let go of her feelings about how things happened, and now that Ymir is gone.
Yeah,
and that's something that again we're gonna get.
Still has a little bit of that timidness to her.
Well, I want to say it's kind of like, and it's a word I'm going to describe her as in the next part of that episode we're going to talk about. But you'll see that we get a better look at her when they go through the Titan research, the Titan experiment, right?
Okay.
But there's something a little off with her, which it's got to be difficult losing your right hand person.
Yeah.
Right. And
like the one person that's like has like loyalty was like such a big thing.
Yeah.
Between them and
yeah. So we can talk about more. We can talk more about that after the next part. But so she's there. Now we have characters like we talked about Connie.
Yeah.
I mean, say what you want about Connie.
Yeah.
You know, but we mentioned he looked like he's being more responsible right now. Again, Connie's another character
he's
that
kind of a perfect soldier because you tell him what to do and yes sir.
Yeah.
No questions asked. Sure, I'll do it.
But also he's dealing with that hypothesis being,
yeah,
hey,
with his hometown.
The people over in my village, they're the ones that became Titans, right? And those people, the ones I care about the most are my family. And then so we know that's how season 2 ended, right? So obviously he's dealing with his grief and all that. And yeah, I mean, a lot of characters are dealing with stuff, but I mean, just to kind of mention, for our Levi Squad members here. And then we have the other half of that Taekwondo duo.
Yeah.
Right? And we have Sasha.
Yeah.
Who she is still Sasha.
Yeah. I mean, she is, like skill wise, she's pretty skillful. I mean, we see that from the very first time that we even see ODM gear being used. Like,
she has great instincts.
Yeah, she has really good instincts from being a hunter from her village and everything, and where she's from and all that. And she's just like, yeah, instinctually she's really good. And I feel like she's also earned her spot up there in the Levi squad.
Yeah. And then we
have that one
John.
dude.
The spoiled brat we were talking about.
Yeah, then we have the spoiled brat. John's up there maybe because of, I don't know, stats, maybe? I don't know.
John is a character where he tried to go ahead and talk himself up, where now he's going to go and use Marco's death as motivation and stuff.
Yeah.
He's gonna live for Marco. Awesome, dude. I love it. But it's like, kind of, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
And to be honest, I can't really recall something that he has done, right? Where it's like, okay. Yeah, I can see why he's deserving to be a Levi Squad member.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I can't think of it right now. Maybe it's because anything John does that is good, I kind of block it. Maybe.
Yeah. We could definitely see like the character development going on, but it's like development can only get you so far. You have to put that development into use because it seems like his hesitating and his I don't know. But he's there. Yeah,
he's there. So he's I guess he's kind of just like, hey,
somehow
man, look.
he maybe he pled his case really well. I don't know.
They're like, trying to tell Hanji, like, look, like, Hanji, I understand Levi wants all of us to be the new Levi Squad, but I think John would feel bad if we left him out.
I know.
I think we need to include John.
I think John would feel left out. So let's just.
I think he needs to be a part of the package.
Yeah, he's a package deal.
So he's just kind of an add-on, but
yeah,
hey,
we'll see what's to come.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to do well. I'm sure he's not going to hesitate at all. I'm sure.
He's not going to be the cause of any. Yeah, he's not going to. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we're going to continue with the episode. But Eddie, if you're still listening, my friend, I want to ask you, what's your favorite all-time anime opening? Favorite all-time anime opening? If you can, my friend, let us know over in chat, and we'll be able to play that at the end of the episode. But yeah, it's something we talked about for the Q&A at the start of this episode. So I'm curious, my friend, if you can tell us what your top favorite anime opening of all time is. It's a tricky question, I know. There's a lot of them. A lot of good ones. But I'm going to give you time to go ahead and think about, what is my favorite one? So let's go ahead and let's continue on with this episode, this last little part here, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get to our thoughts. But now let's get to that Titan experiment that Captain Levi was referencing.
Yeah, that roaring that we were hearing.
So again, we hear that Aaron Titan roar, right? And now we see as Aaron's Titan roars during the experiment, we see this famished, just scrawny looking Aaron Titan as his Titan just collapses to its knees. Man, we see a frustrated Hanji just yelling out,
"What's wrong, Aaron? Get up! The future of humanity depends on you, damn it! Get up!"
Yeah. And then Captain Levi tells Hanji, the third time, and his form's changed again. He's not even 10 meters tall, and some of his body lacks muscles. Plus, Aaron's scrawny ass is hanging out. As we see that Aaron's like human body is literally hanging out from the nape.
Like, just poking out.
Yeah, and then a frustrated Hanji continues.
"I can see that. Aaron, think you can move? Give us a signal or something, will ya?"
And then meanwhile, we see a worried Mikasa, of course, rushing to attend to Aaron. And then Captain Levi, he sees this and he says, "Great. The brat's at it again. Off to the rescue. She never learns, does she?" And then Hanji's just still focusing only on Aaron, says,
"There's no response. We're done here."
And now we see Hanji, she rushes off to Aaron too. So now we see Mikasa, Moblet, and Hanji. They're all on Aaron's Titan. As we see Hanji, she's trying to just pull Aaron free from the Titan body. And then Hanji, she's able to lift up and remove Aaron from his Titan. As we see steam is just surrounding them. And Hanji, she says,
"Hot! You think you can ease up on the steam a little?"
And then Mikasa tells Hanji,
"Hey, be careful with him. Can't you see he's bleeding?"
And as Hanji lifts Aaron up to reveal his face, Hanji screams out in horror and tells Moblet,
"You see his face, Moblet? Sketch quick! We gotta get this!"
And then Mikasa, she just gasps and she even freezes as she stares at Aaron's just skeletal face.
Yeah, like his face is like ripped off.
And then Moblet tells Hanji, "Section Commander, have you no compassion at all?" And then Mikasa, she's like, "All right, that's it. She now gets upset. As we see her, she decides to take matters into her own hands. And she slices Aaron free from his Titan body completely. Hanji, by Mikasa slicing Aaron free, Hanji goes flying backwards, right? And then she's still holding on to Aaron. And as she hits the ground, Hanji now looks up, confused, at Mikasa. And then Hanji, she tells Aaron, as she still has his skeletal face,
Sorry about that."
And then Captain Levi, he's watching all this happening from a distance. He says, "Not the outcome we'd hoped for. We're still a long way from being able to use Aaron's Titan to seal the wall." And then we see that Captain Levi is talking with Armin, as Armin agrees. "Yes, we've known all along this would be the... We would be the... Blah, 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 blah."
Yeah.
Okay. Take two. All right, Lexi, you're Captain Levi this time.
What?
Captain Levi, still watching from a distance, says...
I already lost it.
Okay, just get me started with being narrating, saying Armin agrees.
Oh, okay. Captain, yeah? You want me to start with Captain Levi?
No, you can just say Armin agrees.
Oh, okay. Armin agrees.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to say it?
No,
okay.
no. Okay.
I was like, you want me to be Armin?
No. All right. Let's channel in the Armin. I don't know why
Okay.
my Armin's been not there lately. All right, here we go. Start me off, Lex.
Armin agrees.
"Yes, we've known all along this would be like grasping at proverbial straws." And then Captain Levi continues, "The plan's strategically sound and simple in theory. All we need is to get Aaron there. This could still work, but it's all going to depend on him." And then Hanji, she now announces,
"Experiment's over. All troops withdraw at once."
And now as everyone withdraws, they're making sure that they're withdrawing without being seen. Captain Levi tells Historia, as we see that she has that long hooded raincoat, right? She's hiding her identity. He tells her, "You ride back to the house with Aaron. I'm going with Hanji's group. We're headed for Trost." And then underneath that hood, as I mentioned, we get a closer look at Historia as we see this numb Historia simply replying,
"Sir."
And then Captain Levi, He stares at Historia as she leaves. And he recalls something that Pastor Nick said. You must find her with all haste. She is the key. She may know things we understand but poorly. And then as everyone withdraws from the Titan experiment, somewhere outside of the forest hiding, we see two individuals spying on Captain Levi and the others. Now the spies' appearances are shielded, but one of them appears to be a woman and the other appears to be a taller man wearing a wide black bowler hat. To be continued. Wonder who that could be.
Keeping up with the Ackerman.
Yeah. Keeping up with the Ackermans for sure. That is like literally, like you mentioned, the perfect name for this episode here.
Yeah, perfect title.
I gotta keep up with the Ackermans.
Yeah.
I see two of them down there.
Yeah, there's two of them over there, and then
and then there's
yeah, there's one of them.
There's me right here.
Anyway, I'm here.
But one thing I want to go ahead and talk about, again, is Historia. I mean, we see that she's obviously dealing with the loss of Ymir, you know, and
not easy. It's very understandable why she is like expressing in this way.
Yeah.
Numb is a really good way to put it, because
I mean, you just see there's
how do you allow yourself to like feel anything for anyone again if like that just happened?
Yeah. Exactly. That's a perfect way to kind of put it, because I mean that's really what she would be feeling. She's at a point where she now is emotionally just closed off herself. And this is a character where we see that she has so much joy and happiness and helpfulness, you know, and stuff. So now it's like,
yeah, she went from being like the saving grace and like the
absolutely described as an angel.
Yeah, like the angel mother role for the majority of her scenes, and then now it's just,
and now
she's like a shell of who she was.
Exactly, she's a shell of herself. She's going through the heartache and the hurt and the pain and stuff, and you can tell by her having this numb expression that she's trying just not to completely show it, but at the same time she's not herself. You know,
just one track mind. Just show up, follow orders, do what you got to do.
Yeah,
and
she's
then
now emotionally completely unavailable. And so talking about the reason why some of these characters have joined the Levi squad, I mean, I think that obviously with Historia, I mean, she's obviously way tougher than she appears. And we talked about how she's now taking kind of ownership of her true identity, and she's now kind of like leading and stuff, right? Which at least we saw as the scouts were trying to escape. But I think another reason why obviously she's there with the Levi squad is because something that Levi had remembered was Pastor Nick talking about how important she is. So obviously she's going to be close to Levi squad because, you know, we can't allow
she may know things that are beyond compare.
Yeah. And they just, I mean, you can't let anything happen to her. And it's much like with Aaron's situation early on in season 1 and going into season 2. He was so close to Captain Levi and Levi squad because they had to keep close attention to him, and you know, they can't let him out of their sight. So I think it's kind of now Historia is in that familiar territory where, yeah, she's not a Titan, but we don't understand to what importance she holds here. You know, if she is a key to something, you know,
key to something,
we can't allow her to leave our sight, you know, and obviously
protect her and
protecting her identity as well and stuff, you know. So and we see here that they're doing these experiments deep into the forest here, where they where in the room where they have some space to work with here.
Yeah, while also trying to not be super public.
Yeah, and even then, when they're done with their experiments, and they're trying to get that yawn out of the way. But they're all trying to retreat in such a quick manner to where it's like if anybody goes there, they're not going to know who was all there.
Yeah.
Right. You know, there's again, they don't want to be noticed at all.
A little incognito.
Yeah, and it's got to be tough to try to, you know, hide your location when you have a Titan.
Yes,
that
screaming,
is roaring and stuff, you know, and
multiple times because
like,
it's multiple experiments, because we can see how scrawny he is and how weak his Titan is, and how many times they could have done
Captain Levi's mentioned third time.
Yeah,
different Titan form.
Yeah, not even 10 meters. Yeah.
And yeah,
his scrawny ass is hanging out. Yeah,
he's getting scrawnier, and it appears to be shorter too.
Yeah.
So whatever's going on,
weaker every time.
He's weak. Yeah, Eren is weak, and we're gonna have to figure all that out and see what Eren can do. But we've seen Eren have his shortcomings and stuff. We've seen him really struggling with transforming into Titans before, unless he has really a certain kind of motivation, a reason to fight, and that's when we see Eren at his strongest. But during these experiments, not looking good.
Like, you're only doing it for the task. The task is to just be a Titan.
Yeah.
And that's, as much energy as you could use. And obviously Hanji being Hanji, wanting to get as much information and understand his abilities so much. And obviously I'm sure Eren wants to understand it as much as Hanji does. But Hanji also knowing that there are limits, but also she's not as, what's the word? She's not as, I don't want to say respectful. She definitely has more curiosity and is interested in certain things more than other people are, where when he has his skeletal face from trying to yank him out, her first reaction is, Moblet, sketch it. Get this.
We need as much detail and as much,
make it
results as possible and stuff,
Like every little thing matters. Like she just wants to get every single bit of juice out of this fruit.
Yeah. Yeah, oh Hanji.
Oh Hanji. Every drop.
Yeah, there's certain things here where we kind of see just from, Captain Levi just observing, right? Where, again, we mentioned this has been multiple experiments. None of them have been working out. But, Eddie here, he assures us that they will pay off for sure. But also, too, something that Captain Levi mentions is talking about that Brat's at it again. And he sees the constant... this goes back to when Captain Levi was with Mikasa, and she was so adamant about going after Annie and saving Eren, right? This goes back that far to where Captain Levi sees again. There she goes, off to go ahead and try to save him.
Off to go save him again, yeah.
And I think it's a flaw that he sees because we've seen that she puts herself in positions where she's in harm's way, and she can't be reckless.
Responsible decisions are made.
It's all just purely emotional. It's all just purely off of emotion and stuff.
Just anything to save Eren. She doesn't really care what else happens. Just anything to save him.
So that's obviously probably like the flaw that Mikasa has on her and stuff because
she's
anything
too loyal.
Yeah, anything as far as you can't flaw her for her. Her abilities because
not
she's
for
badass.
Her skill at all. Yeah, she makes up for it definitely with her skill.
Yeah. So, should we kind of allude to these characters that we see spying on them?
Yeah, I feel like we're at a point where we can.
Okay. So
we did a whole spoiler warning in the beginning.
Yeah. Not in the beginning of this episode, but I mean we've done it before in all of our episodes. So if you guys don't know by now, then you guys know.
Yeah, spoiler warning, anime spoiler warning.
Yeah. But yeah, we see that there are two figures who are trying to hide themselves. We see that they're kind of laying down over on their chests and on their on their fronts and stuff, and they're kind of like with almost like a is it a gun that they have pointed or is it like? I can't
really tell. I assumed it was binoculars.
Yeah, but it was like this long kind of I don't want to say it was like a freaking one of those kind of like telescopes.
Yeah,
But it was one of those long kind of like scopes that maybe they were looking at.
Let's take a peek.
I don't know if they were aiming a rifle at them. But we see two figures who are obviously hiding and spying. And one of those figures is a character where...
Yeah, it looks like telescopes.
Like telescopes? Okay. But... Yeah. One of them's going to be a character who they refer to as Kenny the Ripper.
Yeah. Looks like telescopes to me.
Yeah, I mean, that makes the most sense because obviously if they're spying, they want to go ahead and
scope up a gun. But yeah, they look like little telescopes.
Yeah. So
they each have a telescope.
They are keeping a close eye on what's happening there in the forest. And I'm pretty sure that that not only are they keeping a close eye, but I mean, there's going to be some serious business involved, right?
Yeah.
Stuff, right? And
there's some scheming happening for sure.
And
someone's watching.
It's going to be for the best interest of these two characters that they really do know what's happening here with these characters and stuff. And we've we have alluded to and hinted at the corruption that happens inside the walls. And that's something that I think we're going to go ahead and see a lot of. And we're going to go ahead and talk about that whole aspect of AOT. And that starts with now these kind of this quick introduction or lack thereof introduction here of these two characters who are obviously now, scheming and planning and trying to have eyes everywhere.
Are we certain that the person next to Kenny is basically
it's like,
second in command?
That's what I thought. That's who I'm thinking that is.
For some reason, when I watched this episode, obviously watched it before we streamed. For some reason, I thought that person was, for some reason, I don't know why, I thought that person was Uri.
Really?
Yeah.
He's long gone.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I saw the pale blonde and I was just like, yeah, Uri is.
He's long gone.
Yeah. I don't know why I thought that.
That would be a whole different,
that'd
weird
be a whole different
plot
thing.
twist.
Like, why is he there? But yeah, the second in command. I can't remember her name. What's we'll get it in a couple episodes.
Yeah. Well, should we go ahead and look at it now, just so we can kind of
just so we know we
familiarize ourselves with it.
Person. I can't remember her name. It's not Rico because that's the one with the glasses from before. That was same squad as another section commander like Ian, R.I.P. Ian, and then.
So it's Caven.
Caven. Why does that not ring any bells?
It doesn't ring a bell at all.
Okay, Caven.
But Caven.
Unless they call her like Corporal, whatever her last name is. But
unless my, pronunciation is wrong, but it's literally spelled Caven.
The C-A-V. Okay.
So,
Caven.
Caven.
I guess we'll see.
She kind of looks like Annie without the longer nose.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
well,
it's just a quick little introduction there. And then
that is the first quarter of the first episode of season 3.
Yeah, because as I mentioned, this episode, it's kind of like, all right, this is the start of a new season, so we kind of have to see what some of these characters are up to. We also have to go ahead and hint at some new stuff.
Yeah,
we got to kind of really, set the
catch you up
the
while
plot,
also introducing
the story and stuff. There's going to be a lot of information to talk about here, and so we're going to have to split this one into either 2, or 3 to kind of make it, more discussion for us to where we can go ahead and really break it down. But we'll see. We'll see, you guys. Tune in. We might do part 3, part 2, part 4. Part 5.
We'll see. We'll go.
Who knows?
One quote at a time, and we'll dissect that quote for 2 hours.
We couldn't do that. Do you think we could do that? If we were to try to stretch out
I think that we could maybe not talk about just the quote, but like we did a whole segment on other anime openings this episode. I think that we could talk for a long time, maybe not just about Attack on Titan, but I don't know if we'd be able to do that.
Yeah.
I would prefer not to.
Yeah. I know,
I'd prefer to leave it a mystery, but maybe that'll be one of our OVAs. That's not not actually an OVA. It'll just be one of our lazy episodes. Let's just sit down and talk about this one quote. What does it mean?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff, again, we're going to go ahead and find out and be introduced to, and we're going to have that same sentiment. What does this all mean?
Yeah.
And, we're going to get some of them answered, and a lot of them aren't. That's just how it goes with AOT.
Yep.
A lot of it's up to your own idea.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen?
Whatever you understand it as, your perception.
Yeah. But
until it's not. Until you're completely wrong.
Yeah. Well, that's it, guys.
That's it, guys.
That is it.
That's all, folks. Thank you for joining us.
That's it, guys.
I'm all final thoughted out. Those are all my final thoughts.
Same. Yeah, I mean, this is just the introduction here. This is the start of season 3. There's going to be so much more, as I mentioned, we're going to get into. But thank you guys who tuned in, for sticking around.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys are still listening.
Friends of the show that popped in.
The ones that popped in, for sure.
Appreciate you.
Huge shout out to you guys. You You guys are awesome. We appreciate you guys' support. You guys know that. We love you guys. And yeah, keep giving us some responses to our questions. But yeah, Eddie, man, this first opening of season 3, it makes me rethink life.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played it in the start of this episode, and it's not one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But
that doesn't mean it's not good.
Yeah, it's good.
Really
it's good. I mean, just because, it's the worst of the like good ones or whatever, doesn't mean it's bad. It's just
no, it's still really Attack on Titan has an unmatched soundtrack.
Maybe worst is brutal.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's not my favorite one.
Yeah, one of your not so favorite.
Yeah.
But still pretty good.
Yeah, it's still good, that's what it is.
All right. Well then.
All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. So before we go and get to a final close here, guys, of course, you got to go ahead and do a couple shout outs. And the first shout out, of course, is you guys. Again, your guys' support means it just means the world to us. This is a podcast that we do just for the fun of it. And we're passionate fans. And so for us to have other passionate fans join us here just to go ahead and, talk about these episodes, talk about this anime, talk about just other animes in general and stuff. It's a lot of fun. And thank you guys again so much. It means just absolutely everything. So
speaking of thank you guys so much, I actually have a little message that I got on a TikTok DM.
Oh, cool.
That I wanted to share. This is from username DaddyNate44. And he says, "Hey, just found your podcast yesterday. So far, so good. I'm on episode 3 as of right now of your podcast, and thanks." I don't know why he thanked me for. I should be thanking you. Thank you.
Wow.
DaddyNate44.
Daddy Nate. Huge shout out to you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Just wanted to put that in there because I appreciate the message.
Thanks for tuning in, man. But you got to catch up so you can go ahead and join us as we're streaming live.
So that you can hear this shout out. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's awesome, though. For people to go, because again, it's one of those things where I can even kind of forget where it's like, man, we have like a library of episodes because as we talked about how crazy it is that we're in season 3 already.
Yeah.
But it's like people can really go back and
just get into it now.
Our breakdowns of season 1 and stuff, and there's a lot of information there that's available, and it's really cool. Something that I'm really, proud of and stuff, and all the work that we put into it for us to kind of, that's something that we're gonna have. Something that we're gonna have. We're gonna go ahead and have, again, that little library
episodes and episodes, of stuff, polls and polls and Q&As and
Okay, Eddie said.
Okay.
Again, unfortunately, Eddie's been having some phone issues and stuff like that, but yeah. So it seems to be all good right now.
We appreciate
if you're able to tune in every week, Eddie, that'd be awesome, man. We always appreciate you joining us as we are streaming live.
Got back to us about his favorite anime.
Okay, favorite anime opening, Naruto opening number 2. Is that one that we played? Is it? I have to look again.
Possibly. Do you know what the title of the opening is, Eddie?
I'm gonna go ahead.
I know that Naruto has a lot of openings though. So, is it Wind or Bluebird?
Wind was an outro, remember?
Oh yeah, Wind was an outro. Is it Bluebird? Because that one's really good.
Opening 2. Okay, I'm gonna play it. This one says it's Far Away.
Okay.
Well, it showed there. Wait, hold on.
No.
There's Haruka Kanata, and then there's Far Away. I'll play the first one. This is the Haruka Kanata.
Okay. Make sure to correct us.
Very cool, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and close out to we're gonna close out to Eddie's favorite anime opening.
Yeah.
We want to give a shout out, of course, when you mentioned Daddy Nate. We want to give a shout out to NatePlaysBad. NatePlaysBad for editing our videos. Huge shout out to Nate. Go follow him on his Twitch, guys. Check out the link tree, guys, over on our Instagram. Instagram is at @AttackTalkPodcast. Go follow along. Check out the link tree to where you guys go ahead and see the platforms we're on. And also, if you guys are interested in some different anime merch, we have some links for you guys to go and use. If you're interested in art, you guys can go ahead and check that out as well. There's a link to our friend Caesar. We have some very artistic friends as well, as one of them is joining us, Eddie Hinston. Eddie Hinston, go check him out on Instagram at Art1. Follow along at his name, Eddie Hinston. He also has that on YouTube, I believe. We have a friend, Marco Momone. Follow him. We've shouted him out plenty of times already, guys.
Yeah.
So, yeah, guys, shout out to you guys. For merch, it's at Fandomion. It's at AnimeCrunch. There's a link for Fandomion over in the link tree for you to get 10% off of your purchase order. All right, guys.
So code LEX.
Yeah. Promo code is LEX. Yeah, promo code LEX at Fandomion. The link's in the link tree, guys. Yeah, thank you guys again for everything. We're going to get out of here. Attack the Talk loves you guys.
Of course.
You know, stay positive. Just be positive people, guys.
Same
and
thing
just
we
kinda
always
spread
tell you guys for forever.
Yeah. But we'll see you guys next week. We hope you guys have a good rest of the weekend. We hope that you guys have a good week of productive work or whatever it is you guys are doing and stuff. You know, just have a good week. And we'll see you guys Sunday. And we'll let you guys know what time over at the Instagram. So, again, guys, this is season 3. It's crazy. And I'm AJ. It's been fun, guys. And we'll see you next week.
All right. Goodbye, guys. Take care. Attack the Talk loves you. Bye.